What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? You're watching Poot's Garage. This week, so we got to get this thing out of the garage. We need to start driving this thing. It is ready. It was rocking. Let's go. So off camera, I've already topped off the transfer case fluid. I've cleaned out the cab of this thing. It was full of junk from when I moved. Went through and cleaned the windows so I can see. Gave everything a once over. But I think we are ready to finally fire this thing up and let's get it out of this shop. Well, I'm gonna park it back in here when I'm done, but let's drive it around the block. So at this point in the video, I've kind of noticed that the power steering fluid is struggling. The whole system is struggling right now. So I actually got out of the truck and I checked the power steering fluid and I topped it off. And I'm not sure where I'm at in this video, but I jumped back in, I cycled things. It was still screaming. That power steering pump is just screaming. And so I actually got back out and I stopped the engine. I jacked the vehicle up, put the front wheels off the ground as best I could. And I topped off the fluid again because it was low again, and then just tried to cycle the steering back and forth, trying to get all the air out of the system and get everything kind of flushed out and whatnot, until the fluid didn't drop anymore and it didn't look aerated or anything like that. So this is where we're at. got it on the road. It runs, it drives. It drives pretty decent, not gonna lie. The steering seems a little stiff or something, I don't know. I know it's real stiff just trying to move the wheels, so I think all those new ball joints and stuff on the tie rods and all that just need to break in a little. But everything runs and operates good. It leaks a ton of oil. Those fittings I made for the oil cooler lines, I don't think those are working. So I'm gonna have to dig into that a little bit more before I really drive it anymore, because I mean, it just leaves a drip, drip, drip everywhere I go. So but yeah, the brakes feel really good driving. It seemed like it had a lot of stopping power and whatnot coming up at the stop signs. Obviously I have no shocks, so that's why it was real bouncy in the front end. Kind of fun though. But other than that, just putzing around the block, it's good. So hopefully we can move forward and fix some of these leaks and start driving it a little more, get the shocks on it and different things like that. And so yeah, that's the direction we need to go now. So I haven't even crawled under this yet to really verify those leaks. I know what the general area they're coming from, and but first I got to jump in the Corvette because we got that thing registered. And I want to head down to the local car meet. It's a Friday evening here, so just want to go pop in there real quick with the Corvette this time, not just my truck, my Ram. So have something fun to at least show up in. So I haven't driven this car at all this winter. It's been in storage. I haven't had it registered, kind of one of the reasons. But it's also not the best winter type car. But we're gonna take it down, and too bad it's not a nice sunny day. It's all overcast, but let's go for a little cruise. I actually haven't driven this since I did the cold air intake on it, so this is kind of new to me. Got my tires reading in kPAs for some reason instead of PSI. This car does need a little work. I need to do some maintenance and different things to it. Barely see out of the windshield, it's so dirty. Spray it down a little here. And we're back from the car meet. Yeah, I didn't get no footage of there. I can't do that. It's just kind of awkward. I don't know anybody out there, and it's a huge group of people that already know themselves. So I'm just not gonna whip the camera out and do a bunch of weird stuff like that. I just can't do it. So we came back. We hung out there for a couple hours, talked to some people. I'm just trying to get to know people. You know, I'm not a real social person, so I'm usually pretty quiet, but hang out and get to know a few people out there and in their cars and whatnot. But no, it's kind of fun. That car meet is it's a mix of everything. You know, there's dudes out there with, you know, diesel trucks. There's Hondas with, you know, turbo Hondas and different things like that. All sorts of different things. I don't know what that one was, like I think I saw a Genesis, Infinities. I don't know half the cars what I see. There's, you know, the Corvette that I met, you know, a couple weeks ago, and there's the classic, God, I forget what year it is, the Dart Swinger that's out there that's, you know, got a turbo stroker motor on it. That thing's pretty bad. So it's just a wide range of everything that's out there, you know. It's kind of cool just to go out there, meet your locals, and you know, don't expect to hit it off with everybody the first time. And, you know, it takes time to get to know people and whatnot, and hey, eventually something might come out of it. But it's a great way to just pass some time, you know, with local car people, with people that are in the same interests of you. And hey, if you're in an area and they do the same type of thing, fucking go to it. Since we're here, we'll talk a little about the Corvette. It's really dusty, it's dirty. So I've had this thing in storage all winter. This is a 2004. It's a manual transmission, LS1, basically a base model, but it does have the Z51 suspension, which makes it extremely stiff. I've dropped it down just a little bit on the stock adjustments. I've done a Vera Ram intake, skip shift eliminator LMC5 module, if any C5 people are here and know what I'm talking about. But other than that, it's completely stock. You know, I plan to do a lot more content with this over time. Not sure I'm gonna mix it into the channel yet, but it's a great car. It's low miles, it looks decent. The paint looks a lot worse when you get up close to it. So I gotta do a lot of work on stuff like that. But yeah, it's kind of my, you know, fun, go fast street toy, to where this truck is the, you know, the fun off-road vehicle. And I'm trying to keep my projects and my toys at just 2. If I can keep it at 2, it's great, but man, I've been thinking a lot about bringing something else into the channel. I need something like, something older, something I can cruise, something I can take to hot August nights. I'm thinking a big Cadillac or something that I can do airbags on, but I'm trying not to think too much about that. And I do have a lot of future plans for this car in the future. So my first stage in this whole kind of car project thing is to just refine what the factory has, you know. So you got to kind of make things just a little bit better and make things like, you know, whatever, just barely increase the driving experience to make it your own. So I have an aftermarket shifter that needs to go in this. I need to buy exhaust. It needs noise. It needs some sound out of there. Nothing crazy yet. I'm not going like wide open throttle, straight pipes or anything like that. I just need a better tone out of it. And then eventually we'll get into the bigger things like, you know, heads and cam and wheels and different things like that. But for now, we just want to keep things cool and smooth and refined. And also, now I've had some time to sit and think about this truck and whatnot. It's a little later in the evening and, you know, you have a beer or two to relax. And overall, I am super happy with how this truck drove out of here. I was able to just drive and go. It worked out great, right? My biggest issue right now is I have oil leaks. I have severe oil leaks from those oil cooler lines that I fabricated early in this build, and then the rear axle seals are leaking really bad. So I gotta take care of those before I take this thing any further. But other than that, you know, I was super happy with the way the brakes were working. The steering was real tight. Everything was working great. I don't have any front shocks yet, which is one thing we're kind of waiting on. But once we get these oil leaks fixed, then we can kind of worry about finding somewhere to kind of start flexing the front suspension out a little bit and seeing where the shocks need to go. I don't know if I have much of a choice really, but I want to play with it a little bit anyways. I did want to do this video a little earlier in this week, but man, I've had a rough weekend. This is my long weekend and I planned to be productive, but it just didn't work out. All sorts of things happened, but I did get some stuff done. I actually, the first day I ended up, I woke up early, which was too early for me. I went out to the DMV, which is way far away from me because I go to an office that's very far away because it's quick and easy. And I could take a nice drive. And of course I forgot to take my camera, so there's no footage of that. But we got that done. What we ended up doing is had to get this truck registered. I had to get the Corvette registered that you're sitting on right now. Plus the trailer. I still hadn't done that yet in the state of Nevada since I moved. So it was good to finally get that stuff out of the way. And the reason I kind of put all that off was, one, I'm a procrastinator. I put everything off to the end. But two, is I had to get a VIN inspection done, which means I needed to call the sheriff, and the sheriff has to come out and do VIN inspections on everything. And since everything was expired already registration wise, I didn't want to drive it, you know, 45 minutes out to the office to get it done on expired registrations. So it's just kind of, just everything's a hassle. You know, Nevada is surprisingly difficult for registrations and different things like that. But we finally got everything done and taken care of, so everything is registered and street legal now. And I don't have to be running on old registrations. And now we have license plates for everything, which is kind of cool because the Vette and this truck actually have sequential license plates. They're one number off from each other. So I was like, that's kind of neat. But our trailer is also good now too, so we can tow this truck out to where we need to go and start really testing it. So other than that, that's all I got for you guys this weekend. I think this is gonna be kind of a short video. Maybe I'm wrong, but I will talk to you guys next weekend.